As a parent myself, I feel real connection to these issues and the reality of struggles as a parent around it. I know, for example, my wife and I, one of the trickiest things that we learned as our kids came along, they were just right at the start of this kind of smartphone generation. We hadn't grown up with that. We didn't have any of these decisions, right? Take this big decision that every parent had. When do you give a child a phone, right? When do they have a smartphone? How old should they be? And they come home saying, oh, my friends are getting it, and those types of things. The thing we didn't understand, and I think we learned over with our children, is that's really not a single decision, right? Because I think there's a lot of times that something like a smartphone, there's a lot of decisions inside of that. What do you want this phone to be able to do? Access to what? Is this full access online? Is this social media? Is this those types of things? So with our older kids, as this started to kind of come along, we started to feel the challenge and feel a little bit out of our depths. And I think like most people, we started asking others what they were doing and trying to get a sense of what was working. And, you always get that kind of sense of who can we trust and how can we learn. But I think we learned in time how important it was to think about the different steps of that process, but then to also really think about our children and not just simply have a one-size-fits-all approach. Different children struggle with different things and different levels of maturity and different levels of readiness. And so we were very clear with our children that we weren't going to make that just as a simple decision, that each one of them, as they made choices and could show proper responsibility, different kind of opportunities for them with technology access would occur, which required a lot more conversation, a lot more getting involved with it. My wife and I made the decision a long time ago that we would not allow ourselves to fall into what I believe is the cultural trap of just saying, my kids know more about technology than I do. Usually we laugh about that and those types of things. I think as a parent, we need to be really careful with ever getting comfortable with that. Of course, our children are innovators and are moving forward with these things. But I think the minute as a parent, we start to sense that a child understands technology or knows something better than we do, that's really a call to us as parents to say, you really need to deepen your knowledge. You need to understand this. We don't need children that are in the social media landscape that are the social media experts and parents don't know anything about it. So there's an interesting learning curve. I'll tell you, as a parent, if I could go backwards in time, go back 10, 15 years or so, I would have loved to have a RAISE program at that time that could have maybe brought some of those ideas and principles together. So I thought about that, and we all thought about that as the RAISE program was put together, of how could we bring together all of the kind of what I wish I knew and best practices understanding for good intentional parents that are facing the same issues.